हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, कैसे हैं आप सब लोग। आशा करती हूँ कि आप सभी लोग अपने अपने घरों में अपने परिवार के साथ स्वस्थ होंगे और सुरक्षित होंगे। तो इसी उम्मीद के साथ हम शुरू करते हैं आज का लेक्चर। सो once again, I, Rashmi Pandey, welcoming you all in the online lecture series of Object-Oriented Programming and Methodology. So, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the implementation of multiple and hierarchical inheritance. In my previous lecture, students, I have already gave you the idea about inheritance and its basic data types. Also, I have discussed practical implementation of your single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. So in the continuation of that series, today I am going to discuss the practical implementation of multiple and hierarchical inheritance. So let us start our today's lecture. So students, these are our headings of today's lecture. Just go through it quickly. Prerequisite, objective, what is inheritance, types of inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and in the last section of our PPT, we will discuss about assignments, learning outcomes, and references. So let us start with the prerequisite session. So as I have already covered this point in my previous video lectures also, that before studying any topic, you must possess some prerequisites. Prerequisites are the information which any student must have before understanding any topic. So to understand today's topic, which is implementation of multiple and hierarchical inheritance, you should have the knowledge about inheritance concepts along with the knowledge of types of inheritance. And yes, you must know about the declaration of class and objects along with the familiarity of editor of C++. So these are few prerequisites which you need. Now, today's objective says that student must train about the implementation of inheritance and its types, and also this objective covers the knowledge about how to develop basic inheritance program in C++. So these are simply the aim of today's lecture. Now, uh, as this is the type of inheritance, like multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance is one of the types of inheritance. So if you miss my previous lecture, or if you miss or if you haven't seen my previous lectures, then this slide is for those students. So here once again I am giving you the idea of inheritance. So students, inheritance is basically uh, a concept of object oriented programming system, and in this the functioning which on which the inheritance works says that you can reuse the code. If you write your code once, then you can again reuse it. Okay, so by inheriting the properties. So how this concept works basically here, as you can see in one diagram is there, where a base class is defined and the derived class is defined. So while deriving a base class, I have included the common properties in base class, and if this base class is inherited by the derived class, then those properties can come inside this derived class also automatically. So this is how you can reuse the same code. Okay, so the advantage of this reusability is that you need not to write the same code again and again. inside the program. So it will help you to save your time, it will help you to save your line of codes, and somewhere somehow it will help you to make your program shorter. So that is why this concept is used. And in this, as I just discussed about the base class and the derived class, so let us just see some quick recap about what is base class and what is the meaning of derived class. So base class is nothing but we can say a parent class or a super class. So this is the class which is being inherited by other class, and as I just said, it is known as parent class, super class or base class. Now, what is child class? So you can say that a child class is the class which is inheriting the properties of the base class, and the child class is also called derived class, or you can say subclass. So this is how the concept of inheritance works. Now, let us move on. Types of inheritances. So till now we have discussed various types of inheritances. We have discussed the concept of all types of inheritances, and we have seen the implementation of this single inheritance and multi-level inheritance. And today we will see the implementation of multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. So what is the logic behind uh, sharing with you the implementation of all types of inheritance is simple as that. You should get the idea of creating the programs with the help of various types of inheritances. Okay, you should clear in your mind about how to create the program which is based on various types of inheritances. Okay, so this is the only logic behind this, just to train you the about how to do programming with the by taking into consideration about the various types of inheritances. Now let us see this C++ multiple inheritance. So let us revise this once again so that you can easily understand while doing programming that okay, this is called multiple inheritance. So multiple inheritance is basically a kind of inheritance where one class or you can say one derived class is there, and it is inheriting more than two or more than two uh, super classes or parent classes. Okay, so it can make the structure somehow like this. So doing programming, you just remember one thing, that initially you are supposed to create all the base classes, and then at last you can create the derived class which is inheriting its upper declared class, which, or you can say, which is inheriting its parent class. So the number of those parent classes are two or more than two. So this is called multiple inheritance, or you can say, if this kind of condition has came in front of you, then you can call that condition uh, is multiple inheritance. Okay, so this is somehow I have tried to explain you with the help of this small pic. So here I have written like class D, somewhere class D is there, and it is inheriting class B1 and class B2. And what is this visibility? These are nothing but just a simple visibility modes which we have discussed. So again I am repeating the things. Visibility modes are of three types: uh, private, protected and public. And every type of visibility mode possessing different conditions, okay, or it gives you different results. That also I have discussed. So you can refer to my lecture number 4 and 5, where you can easily find the table in which I have mentioned the details and the working of all visibility modes. Now let us just move towards next type of inheritance, which is hierarchical inheritance. So as you can see here, it is just opposite to the this multiple inheritance. Okay, in multiple inheritance, how the functioning is performed, one derived class is there containing two or more parent classes. But in hierarchical inheritance, one parent class is inherited by more than two or more than two derived classes. So it is, you can say, just opposite of your multiple inheritance. So students, this is the simple theoretical part related to your today's lecture. Now let us just move towards the implementation part. Okay, so this is, as you all know, the uh, online editor of C++. So here I have created a program of multiple inheritance for you. So as you can see here, this is a class first. Okay, and inside this class first, inside the public part of this class, I have declared one data member, which is first underscore value, and then I have declared one member function, which is first underscore input. So inside this member function, I have given the details about the body part of this member function, which is C out, enter the integer value of class first, and then C in first underscore value. So in this is my very first parent class, as you can see here. Now in the second part, which is class second, I have declared in public section again two values, or you can say two things. One is a data member with the name second underscore value, and the next is member function whose name is second underscore input. And inside this also I have asked some value about some integer value I have asked. And by taking the above two classes into consideration, I have created the third class. So in this third class, I have given or I have inherited my two classes. Number one is first and number two is second, which I have created in upper portion, which you have seen. Okay, so although all these classes are inherited in the class third, but you can just see here I have used a visibility mode here, public, okay, for inheriting both the classes. So what is the meaning of this? It means that all the member functions or all the data members which is present in the public part of the classes first and second is now become available in the public part of the derived class. So here it is present for the third class. Fine. So this those data member and member functions are not visible here by your eyes, or you are not able to see those data member or member functions here by your eyes, but indirectly, or you can say invisibly, it is present here also. So which gives you the facility to use it with the help of the object of this third class. So as you can see here, it is making the whole tree, like it is giving you the concept of multiple inheritance, where I have inherited uh, two classes in the third class. So this is how you prove the concept of multiple inheritance, where a single class can be derived by more than one class, or you can say two or more class. But here just to explain you, I have only taken two classes. But if there is a need that you are supposed to include more than two classes, then you can use more than two classes here also. Okay, so likewise it is making the structure of the multiple inheritance. Now come down towards the main part. So in this main part, you can just see that simply that I have created the object of third class. Okay, and with the help of that object, I have used or I have executed the first class member function, which is whose name is first underscore input, and I have also used the second class member function, which is called second underscore input, and then finally its own declared a member function, which is difference here. So likewise, you can just create the structure of multiple inheritance. Okay, so students, one thing I want to add here is that it is not always mandatory that you can do the things like this only. Okay, it is totally depends on the conditions of your programming. Okay, like what your program needs. So this is simply the demonstration of the things like if your programming is working like this or doing something like this. Okay, where one class is deriving more than one class, or you can say one class is deriving two or more classes, then this condition is called multiple inheritance. Okay, so you just always keep into your mind that you can do simply focus on your programming part, and if this type of condition creates, then this is called multiple inheritance. Fine. So let us run this program, or you can say let us execute this program, and let's just see. So I have already executed this program, and here I have seen that uh, what it gives simply first the integer value of class first it has asked. So I have given the value 1, and then it has asked for the second value, so I have given the value 2, and then it automatically gives me the difference in between these two values, so which is here now -1. So it is completely depends on the values which you have given. So I'm just showing you that line also, which I have used for creating the difference. So as you can see here, I have used the line first value minus second value, and then at last I have simply put this endl, so that your result will become better. Okay, so students, likewise, you can create your programs in multiple inheritance. Okay, now let us just move towards our second type of program, which is called which is based on hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so students, previously we have seen the program about multiple inheritance. Now we will see the program about hierarchical inheritance. So as I have explained that what is the meaning of hierarchical. Hierarchical is just opposite of multiple inheritance. So in this type of inheritance, one class is inherited by one or more classes, or you can say at least two or more classes. So that is why it has created some kind of opposite hierarchy, like one root class is there, and that class is being inherited by another derived classes. Okay, so at least two classes inherit the same parent class, then it will form the type, or then it will represent the type hierarchical. Okay, so here I have created my first class. Okay, and in that in the public section of first class, I have created two variables, int x and int y, and then I have created one member function, which is first underscore input, and in that member function I have asked for the inputs for x and y. See, this is the parent class, so where which I have decided to fix for asking the input. Okay, and then I have created two more classes by the name second and third. So in second class, I have done the product of the two variables, the values, the product of the values of two variables which have declared in the first class. Okay, so in second class I have used those two variables for giving you the product, and then in the third class I have again used those two variables for giving you the division. Okay, so this is how I have inherited the first class in the class which is called second, and again I have inherited that first class in the third class. Okay, so likewise my this whole program says that I have used the concept like I have created a class whose name is first. So in that first class, I have declared two variables, and also I have asked the values for those two variables. Okay, so once I have declared this and I have keep this function in only one class. Now I am again reusing this function again and again each and every time for my next derived classes. Okay, or in the derived classes uh, which is using its parent class function for inputting the two values. So in the very next derived class, I have used the values for taking out the product of x and y, and then I have used the variable x and y for taking out the division. Now let us just see the advantage of using this. So first of all, I have created the variable, or you can say the object of class second, and then I have created the object of class third. Okay, so after creating the objects of derived classes, what I did, I just simply asked for the input, because in second class what I have done, I have done the product of the variables x and y. And what is this x and y? X and y is basically the variables which I have declared in my first class. Okay, so for using that, I also have to use the member function for inputting the values. Okay, because this first underscore input is the method which I have also declared in my very first class. So as you can see here, this is the class which is containing these two variables, and the member function which is asking the values for these two variables. Okay, so these things I have not repeated in my below two classes. What I have done in my below two classes, I have simply used the values of those variables for doing various types of calculations. So for doing this, I have created the object of second class in which I have performed the product, and then I have declared or I have created the object of the third class in which I have performed division. So for first of all, let us just see the product of two variables. So for that I need two values. So for that I have called the member function of first class with the help of the object of second class. Okay, so after executing it, it can ask from it can ask about the values for x and y, and then it will give you the product. Okay, uh, s dot product, which is the part of your second class. Okay, s dot product. Now I have after that I need the division of the two variables x and y. So for that, once again I have used the same function, first underscore input, and for making the divisions, it can again goes towards the first underscore input. Okay, and then again it can ask values for you for doing the divisions. So then after that you can call the division function for getting your division. So likewise, as you can see here, you can have simply declared the member function first underscore input once in the very first parent class, and then you can reuse the same code again and again in all its derived classes. Okay, so this is called hierarchical inheritance. Now let us just execute this program so that you can understand the concept very well. Okay, so here is the place for which where our very first function is executed, and it is asking about two values. So here I have given value 1, and then I will give value 2. So these are the values which will give you some product. Okay, okay, I can change the value maybe. So it will give you the product like 2. Okay, 2 into 1, 2. Now enter the two value of class first for division. Okay, so here I have again asked for the two values for division. So I have given first value 4, and then the second value 2. So according to me, it will give the answer 2. Okay, okay, so it gives you the answer 2. So how nicely this program has performed by satisfying the concept of hierarchical inheritance. Okay, where more than two classes, or you can say one or more classes, is inheriting only one class, okay, which is class first. And once you declared something like member function or data member in one class or in parent class, then easily you are using that member function by doing this type of inheritance. Okay, like with the help of this uh, visibility mode public, you will inherit the parent class, and then you can easily use it by declaring the by making the object of the derived class. Okay, but you just take one thing into consideration, that while using all these calculations, you just first make your mind about the whole structure, because if you lose somewhere the structure, then it will your program may get be disturbed. So this you can just keep in your mind, that before creating inheritance programs, you just first write down about its structure, so that it will help you to perform the things easily or without creating any type of mess. Now let us just move on towards the last section of our PPT. So as I just tell you, you must first consider the all the things here you have created the whole hierarchy. Okay, like class A is there, in which this class A is being inherited by the class B. Then class C is there, which is again inheriting the class A. And then further you have class D, and which is again inheriting the class A. So likewise, before creating any program of inheritance, you just create its uh, sculpture, or you can say you just create first its structure, so that it will be easier for you to work with the various types of inheritances. Otherwise you will get confused, like which type of class is inheriting, or where it is inheriting, or where it goes. So it is better for you to keep the structure either in your mind or somewhere in the paper. So this will help you to create the program in much more effective manner without creating any error. Now, students, till now we have seen in this lecture about the concept of multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance with the implementation part. Okay, so I have explained you two programs which is related with that. So now this is your assignment, and I am expecting from you that you can just give a try to create a program which is using class and object just to print the biodata of the students. So here what you can do, you can just simply take small variables and declare all those variables inside the class body, and then just create the objects, and then call the member functions and data members of that particular class. So it is a good habit for any programmer that before writing any program, you first write a program in your copy, and then you can develop your program by referring your notes. So this is your very first assignment question, and in the second question I have asked about the program in which you need to find the area of circle, rectangle and triangle, okay, by using functions. So this is the concept which you need to perform with the help of hierarchical inheritance. Okay, so the thing which I have done in hierarchical inheritance, like the functions which can be reused or the functions which is in demand in more than one classes, you can just simply create that function in the parent class, and then you can reuse that function again and again. Okay. And in the third question, I have asked about the program which is used to display the student mark sheet using multiple inheritance. Okay, so I'm expecting this so that you can perform this assignment, at least give a try to it. And after performing it, you people let me know about this if you feel any type of problem or you have finished the assignment. So these are the learning outcomes in which I am expecting that you should observe and develop the sense making or logical skills, and also understand the concept of object oriented programming with the various types of inheritances. Okay. So if you want to refer any book, you can refer these two books. These are very good, and in which the first book is very good, which is E. Balaguru Swami, and where you have found all the details about the concept of each and every topic of related to the object orientism. So with these slides, students, I am ending my today's online video lecture, and thank you for patient listening me. I hope you are getting the concepts and grasping the concepts easily and in much better way. So I will try to cover more interesting topics in my next video lecture. So till then, you can just revise all the topics which have been taught till now, and we will meet again in my next video lecture. So thank you students.